Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. This week, we bring to a close another exciting year here on Hunting with HECS. You know, it's hard to believe that HECS technology came on the scene over 10 years ago, but over the past decade, we've seen more boundaries broken, incredible scientific breakthroughs, and more amazing close encounters than we ever imagined. And we're just getting started. If you missed any of the episodes this year, you're in luck, because this week we're going to revisit some of the best moments of the past season. From predators to turkeys to big bucks and incredible bull elk, we have it all coming up in this episode. Also, with Christmas right around the corner, grab the promo code that's shown during the show and get a HECS system on the way for that special outdoors man or woman in your life. Now it's time to sit back and relax as we go hunting with HECS.
Hunting is about getting close. Really close. Get closer than you ever thought was possible.
When you have a cameraman and you setting out in a dirt field like this, you can get away with so much with this HECS on.
I've got to give credit once again to HECS.
We showcase the science of getting close right here on Hunting with HECS.
Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery. Tough Country, American values forged in steel. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Victory Archery, the carbon arrow experts. Luminoc, light 'em up. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, we call the game. Tacticam, share your hunt. Warren Winches. Trophy Properties and Auction. And HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
This past winter, we spent some time with Jim Walker, who has brought us some amazing footage over the past several years. You know, Jim regularly gets closer to predators than ever before. So close, in fact, that this year, Jim's goal was to start taking coyotes with a pistol. Jim had patiently waited for the perfect setup to break out the handgun, and this next setup proves that good things come to those who wait. Jim is set up overlooking a big grassy flat, and after a few minutes of calling, he spots a coyote coming in on his left. Jim has his pistol in hand, and when the coyote hangs up just out of range, he coaxes it closer with some soft mouth squeaks, and it works perfectly. Well, that is some close-up predator hunting. Jim shot that dog at about 10 steps and it was still coming hard. You know, if he'd have waited another second or two, he may well have ended up with it in his lap. After the winter predator hunts comes the spring turkey season, and this is an area where HECS technology continues to impress thousands of hunters every year. You know, I hunt turkeys with a bow exclusively, and with the HECS advantage, I simply hunt in a chair out in the open with no blind or anything. Just a bit of back cover and a comfortable chair, and I'm good to go. Well, I chose one of my very favorite spots. We already had the area cleared and it was all set up, so I was able to get in with all my camera gear and set up pretty quickly. Well, I turned the camera off to save the battery, and I was surprised a few minutes later when this Tom showed up unannounced out of nowhere and beelined it right to the setup. You know, I had to do a lot of moving. I had to reach back, turn on the camera, hit record, get my bow ready, all while this bird was right in front of me. I came to full draw while he was facing me, and he totally ignored me. HECS is the key to our success with turkeys and all kinds of big game. Tell you what, get a HECS suit and you can start having success like this.
I'm a huge believer in HECS, and the reason is simply my success in the field. Time and time again, I have things that I just can't explain, and no matter which hunting camp I'm in, I feel like I'm having more opportunities than the people around me that aren't utilizing HECS. The reality is, some animals definitely can sense things that we just don't know about. And with the encounters that I've had, I can tell you that HECS has been my clear advantage. This past year, I got within top pin range on a giant open country bull and just sat there for longer than I was even comfortable for. And when he finally pulled away from that tree and started to come to where he had heard my call last, he literally almost walked right over me. Had no idea what I was, even when that arrow hit, and I'm giving that credit to HECS. During the late season here in Iowa, there's nothing worse than being covered up with whitetails in a ground blind and having them look right in at you. I don't experience that anymore. I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding for me. If you're interested in getting the best deal possible, make sure you use the promo code at the bottom of the screen. Or if you want to find out more, go to hexllc.com or give us a call at 541-575-HECS.
The best of 2020 continues right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. This week, we are reliving some of our best moments of the season, and the action is unbelievable.
While we were in Texas, we were able to meet up with Brent Praka and the rest of the crew at Tough Country. You know, Tough Country builds the toughest bumpers and accessories for trucks, SUV, and side-by-sides on the planet. And of course, these guys at Tough Country are hardcore hunters as well. We didn't hang out long before Brent offered to take us to one of his favorite turkey spots. You know, we'd just given Brent a HECS suit and made sure that he had it on. He'd listened to our tales of close encounters and the wonders of HECS technology, so he decided to really push it to the limit, just to see if we were telling him the truth. Here, Brent is set up on a chair with minimal cover, only 10 steps from the decoy. The tom would have to pass by within spitting distance of Brent to reach the decoy, and then, to make it even harder, Brent would have to draw his bow with the bird right beside him. This would definitely test HECS technology to the limit. But just as we'd hoped, the bird strutted up the brushy lane and then literally runs past Brent at less than 6 steps. You know, I told Brent that he could get away with a lot more movement, and he certainly took it literally. He raised and drew his bow while only a few feet from this bird in plain sight, and through it all, the tom didn't react at all. Now, if that doesn't convince you that HECS technology will let you get away with more movement than you ever thought possible, I don't know what to tell you. By using HECS technology to block our body's electrical signal, we can do amazing things like sitting out in the open and drawing our bows with the birds nearly at point-blank range. My buddy Brad had a bear hunt scheduled that spring in British Columbia as well. And of course, we tagged along to document HECS in action one more time. A couple days into the hunt, they were headed toward a well-known bear hangout when they spotted 2 bears in the brush just off the roadway. It was hard to judge their size through the leaves, but one was clearly a color-phased bear and the other one was black. Brad quickly grabbed his bow and slipped along the edge of the road, hoping for an opening in the brush to shoot through. Brad could see glimpses of the bears in the brush, but every time he'd draw his bow, they'd move, so he didn't have a shot. There are several people standing in the open here, all of them, of course, wearing HECS technology, and neither one of those bears had any idea that anyone was even in the country. After what seemed like hours, Brad hears a ruckus, and the color-phased bear bursts out of the brush and stops right in front of him. And that's all Brad needed. 2 bears only a few short yards away, totally oblivious to the hunters standing in the open. As a result, this nice bear gave Brad a picture-perfect shot opportunity and a memory that he won't soon forget.
Brand new from HECS is a completely redesigned camo suit featuring a versatile action cut that is perfect whether worn as an underlayer or over top of other hunting gear. It comes complete with 3 pieces: pant, shirt, and head cover. Now available in new HECS Style Green and HECS Style Western. We started with a revolutionary HECS mesh fabric. It is extremely lightweight and breathable fabric that is soft, silent, and comfortable. Of course, it has the patented HECS technology woven right in. Features include a new, durable, super comfortable 1.5-inch wide elastic waistband, shirt pocket, pants pocket, and convenient thumb holes. Accessories are sold separately and include the HECS technology woven into each one. They include the HECS hat in matching camo patterns. HECS gloves are made of a lightweight material and are also available in camo. The new multi-rag is a versatile face mask that can be worn in a variety of ways. And finally, we have the HECS socks. They are a heavyweight over-the-calf sock, and just like the other accessories, the HECS grid is woven right into the material. Order right now and use the promo code to save $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. Learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HECSLLC.com. Christmas is just around the corner, and there's no better time than right now to order a HECS system for that special someone. Give us a call or go online and get a HECS system on the way. Quantities are limited, so don't delay. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. This week is all about the best of 2020, and it's been quite a year. Now, let's catch up with host Mike Slinkert and see where we're headed next.
Well, the season's progressed, and when August finally rolled around, my good friend Andy Day and I headed to Nevada for some archery mule deer action. On this particular morning, I watched a good buck bed in the shade of a rock outcropping, and Andy decided he wanted to try for him. As he slipped into the last bit of cover between him and the buck, Andy finally spotted antlers only 40 yards away. Well, Andy has a clear view of the deer's vitals from his angle, but he's going to have to take 2 steps out into the open to clear the edge of the brush between him and the deer. Well, now it's decision time. Andy has to decide whether to hang quiet and wait for the buck to stand up calmly on his own as he repositions to get out of the midday sun, or risk moving into position now and try to get a shot. When Andy felt the wind swirl and hit the back of his neck, he knew he may have only seconds before the buck got his wind and blasted out of the area. In a split-second decision, he decides to trust HECS technology and move out into the open to take a shot. It worked perfectly. After Nevada, our next chance at mule deer was our annual hunt in Central Oregon. We'd spotted a great buck chasing some does in a field, so we set up a ground blind and a pinch point, hoping that we could get him in close. Well, it wasn't long before the blind was completely surrounded by deer. I had an Ozonics running, and I was decked out head to toe in HECS, and it was all working beautifully. Normally, this many sets of eyes, ears, and noses would have been impossible to fool, but as the minutes ticked away, not a single deer gave any indication that they knew that we were anywhere in the area. Finally, with light fading fast, I spotted that big buck approaching along the edge of the field, and he was headed straight to my location. He moved in like the big dog that he was, and the smaller bucks scattered to give him room. He walked right into the middle of the deer without a care in the world, and right into my shooting lane. He's hit good. All right, yeah, he's steady. He's down. I know you get tired of hearing it, but this again was another HECS moment. Being that close to that many deer for that long, it's about HECS, it really is. You know, this is stuff's been out now since 2010. We have thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands really, people that use this stuff and tell us all about it all the time. So again, close range is what it's all about when you're bow hunting. This was under 20 yards, big old mature muley, and about 11 or 12 other ones that were there for a long time. So HECS did the job tonight.
The newest addition is our base layer. The base layer is a lightweight, semi-thermal material designed to be worn under your regular hunting clothing when you need just a little bit of extra insulation. It features the patented HECS technology woven right into the material. The suit comes in 3 pieces: pants, shirt, and head cover. The shirt is a quarter-zip Henley with serge stitching, embroidered HECS logo, and thumb holes. The form-fitting pants have serge stitching throughout, and an elastic waistband and cuff ensure they stay in place. They also feature a convenient fly. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, gloves, and our new heavyweight over-the-calf sock. Brand new for this year is the new multi-rag. This versatile face mask can be worn in a variety of ways. Order the HECS base layer right now and use the promo code PURSUIT to save an instant $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. Learn more about our complete line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HECSHunting.com.
There's plenty more close-up action right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. From coyotes to turkeys and bobcats to elk, HECS technology gets you closer than ever before. Now, let's get back to the action.
Now we move into my favorite time of year, September. It's that time when the mountains ring with the sounds of bugling bulls and the hot summer gives way to that fall magic that we call the elk rut. On this hunt, we have Caitlin hunting, and I'm sitting beside her with the camera. It wasn't long before we spotted a good bull feeding through the trees. Well, after feeding for a few minutes, the bull heads our way. Well, this was a good 5x5, and as it slowly worked its way closer, I saw Caitlin hook up her release, so I knew she was planning to take a shot if she got a chance. Now the bull's only 20 yards out, and as you can see, HECS is doing its job, and this bull is completely oblivious to the fact that Caitlin's PSE is ready to strike. When the bull worked its way around the water and stopped broadside at only 15 steps, Caitlin was ready. God, he's dead. He slammed him hard. Well, this was a really special hunt for me. Caitlin had just given birth to our first grandchild, so this was our first season with our new little hunter, and I couldn't have been prouder. Tell you what, this is the way to get it done in Oregon, and this is a really special year for us as the Slinkers because we have a little addition named Raylan. We're gonna pack her in here and let her see her first bull. What do you think?
Heck yeah.
With Caitlin's bull in the cooler, it was my turn behind the bow. I decided to set in a blind for an evening hunt. This particular spot was overlooking a couple of heavily used wallows. We had just settled in and we were expecting a long evening of watching and listening when Caitlin suddenly whispered that there were elk coming in from the left. That's when I saw this big boy roll in to the scene with his large harem of cows and calves. One glance told me that I was going to shoot this bull if I had a chance. His antlers were wide and heavy and his body dwarfed any other elk in the area. I really wanted to take him home. Luckily, he chose to stop at the first water he came to, and that put him only 25 yards from the tip of my arrow. Now all I needed was a good shot angle. As always seems to happen in these situations, the minutes dragged on and on as this bull finished drinking and started wallowing just outside the blind. All the while, HECS technology was silently doing its job, and all the elk stayed totally calm, and it gave me all the time I needed. When I finally had a good shot angle, I sent that victory arrow right through his heart. A few minutes later, I had my 45th archery bull on the ground, and I couldn't have been any happier. Awesome. Well, tell you what, Early season, these wallows are deadly, and we just shot a dandy bull. Just a dandy. He's over there. He's just went right through his heart. Holy cow. That, my friends, is a 350-inch bull at least. And the cool part, there's a couple cool parts to this. Number one, I had Caitlin behind the camera. She's my favorite person to hunt with. She saw this bull coming and she was, oh. It happened so fast. He came right out, came right by. So you saw the whole herd come by. And of course, you know, again, that's the HECS effect we talk about. Nobody had a clue. This bull was so relaxed, and that arrow went right where it needed to go. My God, what a bull. Guys, I want to introduce you to number 45. This is Mr. Trump. When an old monarch like that hits the ground, the Slinkard family rallies, and it wasn't long before Mom and Dad showed up to help with the recovery. It's neat. We got 3 generations here. We got a 4th one that we tried to get out here, but she's only 2 months old, so we're gonna have to take some pictures with her when we get back to the cooler with this bull. But.
Did you know that electroreception gives many animals, birds, and fish the ability to sense the electrical field given off by other living things? It was first studied in saltwater species like rays, sharks, and lobsters, but has since been observed in mammalian species as well. HECS technology blocks our electrical field and makes us less detectable to animals.
Well, we had plenty of close encounters this year, and we spent quality time with family and good friends, and we punched more tags than I can count. Through it all, HECS technology proved itself over and over again. Like I said in the beginning, the last 10 years have been quite a ride for everyone here at HECS, and we've come a long ways, but we're far from done. We have a lot of exciting developments coming in 2021, and I predict that you'll see HECS technology in more places, in more styles than ever before. If you want to experience more close-up encounters and increase your chances of filling more tags, you need to give HECS technology a try for yourself. Also, don't forget, Christmas is coming up fast, and HECS makes a fantastic gift for that hunter, photographer, or anyone else in the family that enjoys getting closer to wildlife. Quantities are limited, so don't delay. Give us a call or go online right now and get a HECS system on the way. In the meantime, we'll keep pushing the limits and bringing it to you again in 2021, right here on Hunting with HECS.
If you have an amazing HECS encounter you'd like to share, give us a call or go online. If we use it on the air, you'll be in the running to win an exciting hunting trip with a HECS crew. You can find out more on our website at hexllc.com. While you're online, make sure to take a minute and check us out on our social media sites as well.